Here's a question. I should just say yes or no because it's a yes or no question, but I'll elaborate. Nubix. It's NWBX. And I'm pronouncing it Nubix. Says, were you ever in a jazz band? Yes. Moving on. Just kidding. So I was, well, jazz band is the reason I play trombone. I saw my brother playing trombone in a jazz band, and I wanted to be just like him, even though he actually played euphonium. He was just playing trombone in the jazz band. It's a story I've told before. The jazz band would play, the middle school jazz band would play in the Oakdale Mall, in the center square. They would play every year, and they were happening. I thought they were the best jazz band in the world. Mrs. Barbara Gannon was the director there, and yeah, that was like a very visible thing. They were being cool. I wanted to be cool, so I wanted to join the jazz band. They would also do concerts at the elementary schools every year. That was cool too. So I joined that jazz band when I was in middle school. When I was in 6th grade, I was one of 3 people who were allowed to be in the jazz band in 6th grade. Drew Osterhout, Kevin Ureka, and me. Anyway. So I was in that jazz band for all 3 years of my middle school, then the high school jazz band for all 4 years. And that was actually kind of a blast. We played music that was more challenging than any of the other ensembles I was in, at least for trombone. And I enjoyed it more than anything else. And then in college, my first 2 years, I didn't play jazz. And that was a mistake, but it was just the nature of being a classical major, go figure. And then, that's a lie, my sophomore year, right? Yeah, my sophomore year I was in the Latin jazz band. So the first year I didn't play jazz and it drove me crazy. And then my sophomore year I played lead in the Latin jazz band. And that was I probably learned the most in that ensemble than anything else in college. But, and it had nothing to do with my major. And then my first semester of my junior year, I believe, I took a jazz combo, and I was the first classical major allowed to do that. And that whooped my butt. It was really difficult, but worth it. And then I was in the swing jazz band, the Purchase Jazz Orchestra, and I played bass trombone. And now I sub for different combos and band swing stuff and Latin and whatever I get called for. But yeah, not anymore. That should answer your question. Was I ever in a jazz band? Oh yeah.